I promised everyone that I'd make some more videos about my autoblogger that does product images and internal links. In today's video, we're going to be going through how to set up the autoblogger in a bit more detail, everything you need. This is hopefully going to be noob friendly. The first thing you need is Visual Studio Code. This is called an IDE. It's basically where we're going to execute our code. So go to code.visualstudio.com and press download right here and download it for your system. Once you've got that downloaded, you also need something called Git SMC. This isn't 100% necessary. I just recommend downloading it and learning about it because it is useful to know anyway. So definitely download this. Just click downloads and download it as before. You also need Python. Now, you can't use Python 3.12, okay? I believe the Assistance API doesn't work with Python 3.12. So download this one here. I've left a link in the description. All of these things will have links in the description. Python is a programming language / program. I actually don't know what it is. It's a language and it's a way to run as well, I guess. Another thing we're going to need is my GitHub. So github.com/incomestreamsurfer /ChatGPT assistant autoblogger. Yeah, this is the script basically that we're going to be using. So just make note of that. Again, it's all in the description of this video. You're going to need your sitemap, specifically the sitemap of your products. So we'll open this right here. This is the sitemap of Two Men. Now, Two Men is an amazing example because it has, I think, maybe 2,000 products nowadays. So it's a really hefty website. So I can show you how to do this with a hefty website as well. So I'm going to right click, save as, and then just save it as an XML document. Okay, we're going to be coming back to that in 1 second. You're going to need all your internal links cleaned and stored in a .txt file. Now, the easiest way to do this is just to go to, let's say I generally speaking, I try and put everything to my collections. Okay, so I'm going to open up my collection sitemap here. And then what I do is Control-A, Control-C, and then sheets.new. I know I showed this in the last video, but I just want to have a few videos where I can just talk about whatever I want and explain everything in detail. You want to right-click on the A here and sort Z to A, and then Control-F and look for lock, like this. Click on the first one, scroll all the way down. Click on the last one while holding Shift, sorry, and then press Control-C. Control-A, delete, scroll to the top, and then Control-V to paste, okay? And then click on these three little dots right there. Look for lock with 2 chevrons around it, or whatever the hell they're called. Press replace all, put a slash here, press replace all. That's now done. Call this internal links, and then download it. Or you can just scroll down to the bottom here, hold Shift, press Control-C, open a notepad, Control-V, Control-S for save, and then call it internallinks.txt. There we go. So either way, you can do it like that, or you can just download it. And then I think you can change a CSV to a .txt file just by changing the name of it. But yeah, you can also just use Notepad like I just showed you. So we now have our internal links, we have our products, and then we need our content plan. Now the content plan, if you just open up this chat right here, I'll show you exactly how to make a content plan right now. So, the important thing is that you follow this CSV pattern. Now, you don't have to follow this exactly if you know how to code and if you know how to change things, etc. You don't have to follow this. However, I do recommend just leaving everything as it is and only changing like the content of the content plan and not changing the actual structure of the content plan, okay? So all I said, I think this is using 3.5. I can't see what I'm using right now. Model. It doesn't actually say the model, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure this is 3.5. I said, following the CSV pattern, I want you to output a content plan using these keywords. I got a load of keywords from one of my competitors on Google Ads Keyword Manager. Basically, you just take their website, put their website into Google Ads Keyword Manager, find anything that has 10,000 or more searches per month, and then put it here. And then it gave me this, but I didn't really like the structure, and I said, it needs to be formatted like this. And I gave it a little bit of a sample, and you can get the sample from the GitHub. So if you just open this right here, if you want to have a look at like what it looks like, or if you want to give it your own sample, You can copy this and say, use this as a sample. What it'll then do is it'll say understood, here's the content plan formatted as requested. And then it's just given me, a decent amount of keywords right here. You can copy this, again, you can put it in a notepad, or you can put it into a Google Sheet, or you can just replace it inside the file that you're about to download. But we'll get into that in a minute. The last thing we need is a OpenAI secret key. So we'll go to platform, click on API keys right here, scroll down, create a new key. I will be deleting this key at the end of this video. I do always remember, so don't bother trying to steal my key. It's pointless. I'll just put this in a notepad for now because I'll need it again in a second. So that's pretty much everything you need. Now what you want to do is you want to go to Visual Studio Code, which you have hopefully just installed. Okay, so this is Visual Studio Code. What this does is it's like a way to interact with code. When I first started coding, I didn't know these things existed, and I was trying to do everything inside what is known as the terminal. Obviously, that's basically impossible. You can if you're really, really good, but if you're a noob coder, you're not going to be able to do everything you need just by running it like this, okay? You need a way to edit and to test, etc., etc. So that's exactly what Visual Studio Code is. So, once you're here, press these 3 dots on Visual Studio Code, click on Terminal, click on New Terminal, like that. And then we'll do this right here. So this is why we installed Git SCM, so that we can do a Git clone. So we write Git clone, and then we put the HTTPS blah, 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 and then this is the name of the file, and then, oh, of course. And then we hit enter. I can't believe how many files I've got. And then what we want to do is we want to open folder, and we want to find autoblogger 1. Oh no, autoblogger 2 we're looking for. Okay, so it's right here, autoblogger 2, select folder. Right, we now have basically everything we need to actually use the script. So the first thing you want to know is if you want to change what this is writing about, this is what you change, okay? So if you want to make it write about a different niche, if you want to make it write about a different topic within that niche, this is exactly where you do it, okay? So we've got men's fashion, best men's t-shirt brands is the first article. Then we have men's clothing brands. Let's say I don't like this. I can just change this to shirt, okay? And instead of t-shirt brands, it should now write about shirt brands, okay? So you can change this manually. You can change this using ChatGPT. It doesn't really matter. Just if you use ChatGPT, ensure that it's using the same format, okay? It has to use a very, very, very similar format. Now, the second file we have here is 2mentest.py. What this does is, if I go back to my downloads and I put my sitemap here, let's just delete this one because we're doing an example here. I would right-click, copy relative path first, and then drag your XML sitemap into the script, and then right-click, rename, Control-V, and then delete the second XML. What that does is it puts your sitemap inside the script with the same name. Otherwise, you would have to change the name inside the Python script, and if you don't know what you're doing with Python, that can be a little bit daunting. However, it is just here. It's pretty easy, to be honest with you. So it's where it says XML file path equals, you can put anything here, okay? So any name of sitemap doesn't matter. Personally, what I prefer to do is I like to change the name of the file rather than change the actual script. Once we're at this point, we already have our first Python script ready to run. Make sure you've installed Python. Click here, terminal, new terminal. What we want to run is python 2mentest.py. Now what this script does, and I really do like this script a lot, I think it's really, really cool, is it reads this 11,000, 12,000 line sitemap, and it chooses 200 random products. Now, if you're a store that has not a lot of products, this is amazing because all of your products will be included. If you're a store like mine and it has 2,000 products, then it should have a good selection of products inside it. That's kind of the idea behind this. If you have 100,000 products, it's not going to work as well, potentially, because you might miss some topics of products. For example, t-shirts. Let's say you have 100,000 products and you write an article about exotic leather shoes. You have crocodile sneakers, but it doesn't choose any crocodile sneakers. You're obviously going to lose out because there are only 200 products. You could, if you wanted, increase the number of URLs, okay? So again, this is right here somewhere. Let's do Control F200, yeah. So on the fourth line, number of URLs. If you want to get more URLs, do whatever you want. You can do 300, 400, 500, 600, 10,000, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But what I will say is ChatGPT Assistant API file retrieval works a lot better with less URLs. So the less URLs you have, the better it is for this process. So once we have everything in place for the first round of the script, we're just going to run this, and you'll see what it's done is it's just listed 200 random products from this list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Control F here and write crocodile. And you can see there are some crocodile. Let's write t-shirt. You can see there's 8 t-shirts. Sneakers, there's loads of sneakers. Too many sneakers probably. There's some coats, polo, caps, etc. Okay, so there's a good shirt. There's a good mix of items here. That's kind of the point of this, okay? If you're not happy with the first one, you can just run it again and get another list of items. It's really up to you here. But I like this list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold and then drag up through the terminal like that. Goes to the first URL thing here, let go of everything, and then press Control C, okay? And then I'm going to open another notepad. I'm going to delete this products.txt right here. And instead, I'm going to do Control V here, Control S here, call this products. And then I'm going to put this into this file right here. So we'll search for products. Right click, open file location, and then drag it across to here. Okay, so that's our products now. Now we have our products. Now we need... Well, actually, we don't really need anything else. So let's talk about the actual auto-blogging script. Now, I'm calling it an auto-blogger. The reason is because it would be so easy for you to take this script, go to ChatGPT, and say, help me make a function to upload to Shopify on this script, okay? Now, ChatGPT should be able to do this very, very well because it already knows the API, okay? The reason I'm not including this in this particular version of the script is, number one, I just want to get this out there. And number two, I think that auto-blogging and posting too much content is destroying people's websites instead of actually helping people's websites. So I think I'm not going to be releasing an auto-blogger as in, also automating the upload process. Now, if enough people ask me to, I will include that as well. Another thing that I am going to eventually be including will be DALL-E. I would quite like it to create a featured image. At that point, I probably am going to also include auto-uploading. But for now, at least, this process right here is saving me so much time when it comes to writing content, okay? So if you just want to open one of these just to make sure, that it is what it is. So this is supposed to be a KNT Kiton black coat. There we go. You can see this is the KNT logo. So because it's using Python, this will never make a mistake, okay? Because Python is mathematical. Now, we can start to get some mistakes with the autoblogger, okay? So just be careful. Now, let's talk about what we need to do in order to get this autoblogger up and running. First of all, you need your secret key, which we put here where it says your_secret key, line 8, okay? You do not put it here, you put it here. This is the newest way to set your OpenAI API key. It used to be different. This is what it is right now. Now, also, the script will change shortly when they remove beta. I can never remember how I used to say that word. So right now, it's still in beta, so we will have to eventually delete this part of the script right here, but that's fine. Another thing is, not everybody has access to GPT 11.06, so if you do not, you can delete the 11.06 preview part of this and just use GPT-4. However, it will be very, very expensive, okay, if you use GPT-4. It could be up to $2, $2.5 per article. So either use GPT 3.5 and hope that it works pretty well, or use, oh no, actually GPT 4 won't work because it doesn't work with the Assistants API. So I recommend, if you don't want to, lose a lot of money and you don't have access to GPT 11.06, what you can do is you can use GPT 3 11.06 if you have access to that, which is this one right here. So you can change the model to GPT 3.5 Turbo 11.06 like this if you want, okay? But you will need one of the 11.06s, I believe, in order to use the Assistants API. Now, let's talk about the prompts. There are 4 prompts. This is the first prompt. This is the system prompt for the assistant, okay? If you don't know what that means, if I go on Assistants right here, it's the instructions that you put here, okay? And the files that we upload are these files here. So again, if you don't like these file names and you want to change them, you will have to change the file names here, okay? This is super, super important. If you want to change these file names, you have to change the file names inside the script as well, okay? Once we've done that, this is where you can change what the script does, okay? So right now, the script is made for auto-blogging or creating articles that have product images and internal links and context of your business already inside it. However, you can change this. So the instructions right now are never invent links or product images, never use sources or footnotes, read internallinks.txt and products.txt. You always choose 5 strictly relevant product images and internal links for the articles. You do not use sources. You just pick 5 product images that are highly relevant to the article. First, you read the attached files and understand them. Then you create a detailed outline on the blog post topic, including a maximum of 5 highly relevant internal collection links and product images. This will finally be used to write an article, okay? So remember, this is just the system prompt. So when you actually start the script, the first thing it does is it uploads the files and the instructions to the Assistants API right here, okay? The second thing it does is that it gets internal links. So this might seem a bit confusing because it seemed like the first one does that, but the first one is just the system instructions, remember. The second one is the first message to the assistant. And it says, never invent internal links or product images. Choose 5 internal links and 5 product images URLs relevant to blog post idea. This is the gold right here, okay? So it takes blog post idea from the CSV, the content plan CSV, and it puts it inside the first prompt. This is why it writes about whatever the topic is here, okay? For example, you can change this if you want to fit your niche. For example, for exotic leather shoes, look for crocodile shoes, etc. For suit articles, look for suits. This took me so long to prompt engineer, you've got no idea. The second one creates the outline. So outline request equals. Use the product images and internal links from get internal links, which is this function right here. So it's telling it to take product images and internal links from the ones that it just chose and use them to create an outline for an article about blog post idea. There's the logic again. In the outline, do not use sources or footnotes. It completely ignores this every time. I don't even know why I've bothered writing it. But just add a relevant product image in a relevant section and a relevant internal link in a relevant section. There is no need for a lot of sources. Each article needs a maximum of 5 product images and internal links. Again, it completely ignores this, but there you go. It seems to work. And then the final one is the article request. Now, I could split this in 2. I haven't done this yet because it took me probably more than 60 hours just to make this script. So, I mean, to then split this prompt in 2 is probably going to take me another 5 hours or so. So, I'm not looking forward to that, but I will continue improving this script if enough people are using it. So, article request equals. Also, we are going to probably be releasing this as an app as well. So look out for that. Never invent internal links or product images. Choose 5 internal links and 5 product images that are relevant to an article, and then write a detailed article based on the following outline. So then outline comes from here. So you can see here, it says outline for blog post idea, N outline. So it's the logic. We're passing everything into the next one. hopefully without passing the entire context window. Now, I will say right now, I should have said this earlier on, be careful of running this with, over 10, let's say, lines in the CSV content plan. If you have more than 10, I don't know if I've fully fixed this bug yet, but it seems to still be passing the context of the old articles into the new articles, which means by the time you get to line 16, it's sending the previous 15 articles as context for the 16th article, which means that I accidentally spent $300 the other day in about an hour. I should have fixed that bug, but I'm not 100% sure if it's 100% fixed, so just be careful. But put it into a proper title, which invites a click, for example, Best X of 2024, and then some other modifiers. Title should be around 60 characters. Include the product images and internal links naturally and with relevance inside the article. Use Markdown formatting and ensure to use tables and lists to add formatting. Use 3 product images and internal links. Never invent any internal links. Now, for example, you could do something like saying, add a key takeaway table at the top of the article, summarizing the main points. Now, this is how you change the prompt, okay? Be very, very careful with what you're doing, but as long as you stay within these 2 speech marks, so there's one speech mark here, and there's one speech mark here, you can put literally anything here, and all it'll do is just change the output, okay? So just like when you're talking to ChatGPT, you change your prompt. This is the prompt engineering part of this process. Okay, so hopefully I've explained everything a little bit better in this video. I know that I rushed the last video. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I was super, super excited to get the script out. Once you're at this point, you just need to write Python testing3.py. And then when I hit enter, as long as there's nothing wrong here, it should just start to work. So the way that you can see if this has worked is you can go to your platform.openai.com/assistance, refresh it, and you should see date created 21st of December 2023, files, products.txt, 2 men, blah, 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 internal links.txt. And then you can see this instruction is the instruction that is here. Now, one thing I would potentially change is I would make this instruction a lot longer. The reason is if you remember early on when I was playing around with the Assistance API inside the playground, I had this really, really long instructions and it worked really, really well. So I am open to suggestions. Please, if you are playing with this and you find something that works better, leave a comment, let me know. I would love to hear from people about how to make this even better. I'm planning on adding DALL-E and potentially the ability to automate uploads as well, but they will always be scheduled. I'm not going to let people just release 150 articles to their blog at the same time. But yeah, that's pretty much the process. I'll show you one output here and then we will finish the video right there. Okay, so we can actually see that this is the outline, okay? Now at the top of each one it says outline for or it says article for. Now, I want to show you this because I do find this super, super important. This is an article about shirt brands, okay? And I haven't given it anything, remember. This is purely from auto-blogging or auto-writing. Look at the context that it gives to the article. It gives Sartorio Napoli shirts, which is one of our most important brands. It gives Kiton, which again is one of our most important brands. And it also talks about Cesare Attolini, etc., etc. So what it's done is without me spending 10, 15 minutes giving all of this information manually, it's actually managed to write the article with products already inside, product images already inside, etc., etc. So this is the article right here. Now you might say, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to use 3.5. I'm just going to say, format this article properly, and then Control V. And we should see that we've got, that's not Sartorio Napoli. Close enough. So this is Kiton, this is Cesare Attolini, this isn't Sartorio Napoli, but I mean, it's not the end of the world, let's be honest. It's a little bit weird, but... Now, the articles are a little bit short, but it does have internal links, and internal links to important pages, such as Cesareatellini shirts, the products themselves, etc., 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 as they say. Now, let's go to docs.new, Control V. I know that these articles are not very long. I am perfectly happy to make this write this in 2 parts if people are so obsessed with the length of articles. However, I know from my own experience, and I'll be annoyed if someone says, oh, show us proof, okay? I have experience in these matters. I know from experience that something like this will rank because it has a good amount of formatting. It has a table at the top, key takeaways. It has a decent title, top men's shirt brands. We have pictures. We have internal links, etc., etc. I'm super confident that this would rank. One of the only things I would change about this article is I would add a few more internal links. So to Sartorio Napoli, for example. And then for some reason, it's talking about Sartorio Napoli, but then it's talking about Kiton. This is just a little error that I would probably change as well. Let's see what the output of the second article is. This one here, top men's clothing brands. Now do this article. This is currently the way that I'm formatting these articles. There's probably a much easier way to do this. I just like to do it like this. Okay, so just again, we can see we have the key takeaway table. We have the images, beautiful. Look at that. What an amazing article, written automatically with basically zero input from me, just the input that I showed you at the beginning. Word count 642. I'm going to leave the video there, guys. I really hope this helps you understand a little bit more how to actually do this. So we can see we've got links to cashmere blazers, which is perfect. Links to blue polo shirts, perfect. Crocodile leather, amazing, etc., etc., etc. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you very soon with some more content. And as usual, peace out.